would you like your own personal life coach? Well, guess what? You have one now. Every Monday morning at 7:30, it's time for your Monday morning motivational moment. Kick off your week just right. Monday mornings at 7:30 on 103.9 FAS-FM.
Hey, it's Jolana, and your More Music Morning Show is powered by Honda of New Rochelle. Nice to have you around at 7:34 on 103.9 FAS-FM. And thank you so much for all of your phone calls. We've been talking about food that just you can't stand the smell of. And we've had people from anywhere from someone actually microwaving, I should say, fish in a microwave oven in the middle of an office. And then we've had eggs, we've had peanut butter, we've had broccoli with Chinese food. We've had some great onions and garlic when someone's eaten so much of it and then it reeks from the skin, and just so many good ones. And of course on the phone now, Lorraine, for our Monday morning motivational moment. Lorraine, do you have a food that, like, when you smell it, you're like, oh, coffee breath? That's one of the worst, when someone's talking to you and they have the worst coffee breath.
Oh, my God. Or I had a friend who's from London, and she loved to have coffee and Marmite in the morning.
Yeah. I don't even know what Marmite is.
Oh, it's the worst thing. It's like brewer's yeast.
Okay.
Think about concentrated vitamin B spread on some toast. And she was a personal training client. She's actually one of my very, very best friends.
But it's just something it's what she would eat. We had someone talk about cooked cabbage when you walk into a kitchen and someone's cooking cabbage. Oh. And I'm so bummed because our recording equipment, I have all these great phone calls to record, and I wanted to air them back, and our recording equipment is broken. It's not. I even tested it with you and I on the phone talking, and nothing's recording. So
That's so tragic.
I know it is tragic, right? Like the problems, like I'm such the 1% having these problems, please. So many worse things in the world, but it is frustrating because I have these great listeners that call up all the time, and it's just so much fun, and I just love the FAS listeners, and then I feel bummed because we're talking about this stuff and I can't air it back and whatnot. But I digress. Either an engineer is going to fix it, or we're going to take this piece of machinery and we're going to chuck it.
Yeah, well, you know what? People, put it on Facebook. Put your stinky smells on Facebook and we enjoy it there. I love that.
What do you with the stinky food? Well, anyway, Monday, here we are. Very short work week. It's a Wednesday or Thursday for most of us. And but we're going into a big holiday season, not to mention, obviously, Thanksgiving. What should we work on this week?
Well, in celebration of Thanksgiving, that's what I hear we're calling
Exactly, it is. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm thinking about ways to become a person that other people want to spend time with.
Okay.
So that means, so what comes into my mind then is something that I think of as being unconditionally constructive. So what comes to mind for you when I say that?
Unconditionally constructive? Just, I think of being just very helpful and so forth. Being constructive with your time and helping out others, but I'm not thinking that's what it is at all whatsoever.
You're thinking constructive with your time because your technology is getting in the way of you today. I tell you, I don't blame you.
My mind is right.
Right. Well, this is about the way that you talk to someone that leaves them feeling respected and cared about, and is a huge factor in becoming someone other people like to be with. So most of us think that we're pretty good at being truly constructive, but even though we think we are, most of us aren't, because our positive comments usually include a comparison to either something in the past or comparing something with someone else and so forth. So now what do you think?
You know what's funny about you saying this is over the weekend I was out volunteering with our Stuff the Bus, getting food from various people. And this woman walks past me and she goes, "I don't like you on the air." And she just kept walking. And I kind of stood there, and I didn't even catch it in the beginning. And then all of a sudden, I realized, and someone else said, "Oh my gosh, what a bee!" And I looked at her and I go, "Well, happy holidays anyway, happy holidays." And that's what I said, because it so threw me. And I thought, you always have the haters and the people that love you, and no one's ever always going to be liked. But that's one of those things that probably for the next hour, I'm a human being with feelings, and for like the next hour it was inside of me, and I thought it's amazing how 3 or 4 little words can really affect someone and get in their head for a few minutes, and then you're able to move on. Like someone like that versus the amount of people that are just so friendly and happy completely ends up overriding it. But it does affect you, and words are powerful. They're very, very powerful.
Oh, my goodness. Well, here's my 2 cents on that. I usually, because I get it too. Everybody does.
Exactly. Everyone does.
What I think about is at least I'm doing something that is remarkable. Whether, I'm doing something that people will take the time to actually comment on, which means I'm doing exactly what I intend to do.
That's what someone else at our volunteering said. That's exactly what they said. And it is interesting. So, but anyway, a little bit of a digression. But what you're saying about words and being someone that someone wants to be around is really hitting home, I think, for hopefully everyone. That is very powerful.
Well, yeah, being constructive looks at today on its own, and that comparison measures it against something else or some other time in the past, and both of those things are irrelevant. It's like saying, you look so much happier than you were, or wow, you look great, you lost so much weight.
Right.
That comparison has an edge of judgment, and it brings the other person back to where they were before.
I love it.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. So this week's challenge is to cut your positive statement in half. Practice slicing off that condition to what would otherwise be constructive and positive. Stop at you look great and watch how quickly you become someone other people want to talk with.
Absolutely. Because so many times I do have something positive I want to say about someone, but then other things pop into my mind, or I think, oh, they look busy, I don't want to bother them, or some people just don't take compliments well. But you just do it. You just go for it.
Well, what can it hurt?
Exactly. Lorraine, how can someone get in touch with you?
Peacemakercoach.com.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week.